So the Football Manager Winter Update has dropped, and we all like to start a new game. And what I'm going to do today is, if you're like me, I'm going to show you exactly how much money you're going to have to spend in the Premier League on the original game mode. So we'll get straight in and start off with Arsenal. So as you can see in the Winter Update, Arsenal start with £5.6 million to spend, retaining 100% of transfer revenue, and they have £200,000 per week left in the wage budget. Aston Villa unfortunately start with no money in the new update. They do keep any money though that they make from selling players, and they have £70,000 per week spare in the wage budget, so a little bit of room to manoeuvre but not too much. Bournemouth also have no money to spend this window, but they do keep every penny from player sales, as well as having £25,000 in the wage budget, so not as much room for manoeuvrability as Aston Villa, but you could maybe sell a few players, maybe bring a player or two in. Next up we have Brentford, who have £23.3 million to spend, and they also keep 100% of their transfer revenue, while having £35,000 per week left in the wage budget. Brighton start with a staggering £69.5 million in the transfer kitty, and they keep 90% of all player sales, so there is room to massively change and shape this squad in the first season, while also having £150,000 in the wage budget to strengthen that team. Next up is Burnley, and unfortunately they have no money to spend, and they have no manoeuvrability in the wage budget at all. They do keep 100% of transfer revenue, so to get anybody in, you're going to have to sell. Free spending Chelsea have no money to spend this window, and it's no wonder because they have spent an absolute fortune in recent years. They do however keep 100% of transfer revenue, and they do have a large bloated squad you could sell to raise funds, and they also have £150,000 a week spare in the wage. Next up is Crystal Palace, and they have a measly £600,000 in the transfer budget, keeping 100% of their transfer revenue while also having £20,000 per week to play with in the wages. It's a hard task with Everton trying to keep them up with the points deduction. To do this you have no money to spend, you have £20,000 per week in the wage budget, but you do have 100% of transfer revenue, but their squad does not have that many sellable assets, so this is going to be a challenge. Fulham have £20 million in the transfer budget, they keep 100% of that transfer revenue, and they have a grand total of £55,000 per week spare in the budget for wages. Liverpool have a massive £64 million left in the transfer kitty, they can spend £300,000 a week extra on wages, and they keep 100% of their transfer revenue, so far they are in by far the best financial position on the winter update. Luton Town up next, they have £75,000 left in the transfer kitty. In the Premier League we all know that means absolutely nothing. They keep 100% of their transfer revenue however, but they do only have £15,000 per week in the wage budget. So if it was me, I would try and move all that £75,000 into the wages. You're going to have to sell to buy. Mega rich Manchester City next, they have £30.6 million in the transfer budget. They keep all of their transfer revenue from player sales, and they have a staggering £500,000 per week extra in the wages. So you can get in a massive player in this window. Man United up next, and unfortunately they only have £1 million in the transfer kitty. They do keep all of their player sale value though, and they do have £140,000 spare in the wages. Cash rich Newcastle next, and they have just over £4.3 million to spend. They have 80% of transfer revenue, and they only have £110,000 per week in the wage budget there. Nottingham Forest next, and again it's another club with no money to spend. They do keep 100% of transfer revenue, and they do have £30,000 left in the wages, so not much room for manoeuvrability unless you make some player sales. Sheffield United with a meagre £500,000 in the transfer kitty, no spare money in the wages, but you do keep 100% of all player sales, so you might be able to get some manoeuvrability, but it is going to be a hard ask. Tottenham up next, they have £5.7 million to spend, they keep 100% of all transfer sales, and they have £150,000 per week left in the wage bill. West Ham could be an exciting prospect with £29.2 million to spend in the transfer kitty while keeping 100% of all the money from player sales, backed up with £140,000 left in the wage budget, so you could get some good players in, bit of manoeuvrability if you manage to sell a couple of players here. And last up is Wolves, who have £4.3 million in the transfer budget, 100% of transfer revenue they keep, and they have £100,000 left in the wage budget. So there we have it. This has been the Flying Scotsman FM, just with a quick video showing you the Premier League budgets for the winter update. Please like, comment, share and subscribe, and I will see you next time.